4. The board is one absent and one missing in action. Then we got our legal here, our business manager here. We got our engineer here. We got 2 CSEA members here. We got WNBF 12 News and the famous Dan Livingston representing the city of Binghamton. And I will be with you shortly as soon as I get the agenda in front of me. Oh.
No, I can check on that.
Also our superintendent and assistant superintendent. Yeah, okay.
You want me to go ahead with the continuation item?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead with it, then I can go in. That sounds good.
Okay. Because I had to leave before the meeting ended last week.
We passed all that stuff.
No. I didn't get the
yeah.
finance committee report, so I was going to report on, the fact of the budget. And we had passed out the FEMA chart, so I'm not going to go over that again. And we're continuing to work on the approval and meetings associated with the 2020 proposed budget. And seems to be more hotly contested this year because people are starting to understand because of the owner debt service going up by as much as it is. This is the largest item in the budget. That they're realizing what that's going to do to the overall enterprise fund, and one day at a time. So we have a meeting this Wednesday at 5 p.m. down in the Binghamton City Council chambers at Binghamton City Hall, which will be the next owner meeting with the owner and legislative bodies, where they'll probably ask their questions, hopefully, and hopefully they have a quorum so we can go from there. That's basically it on finance. On the flow management work group, just bring to your attention, because it's my understanding this didn't get covered. There was a conference call with the DEC on August 29th. And there's an application form that needs to be completed for the updated speedies discharge permit for the new plant. And this would be something that goes into effect next April, which is under the consent order schedule after the startup of the remaining CN cells, which is due under the consent order by January 1st. And that gives time for the biology to develop, and by April of 2020, the schedule is for the entire facility to be operating at permit, even though there may still be some punch list type and fine-tuning construction activities going on. The substantial completion should be reached by then. And the one thing that's very nice about this is a 18-page booklet, but about half of the pages, like Craig has, but he can hold that up so people can see it. It has a little X in there saying it's not applicable to you because they don't want data based on the interim operation of, a primary only plant. And they know we don't have any historical data, and they will address that when they draft a permit based on the Chesapeake-based standards. Obviously, this is just routine, getting the permit updated is just a routine process in any construction upgrade process. That's an important step once we get there. I don't know, Craig, if you wanted to say anything about any of the documents or where you are with getting them completed.
Yeah, I touched base with Michelle and told her we got to get them filled out and sent in. But one of the forms looks like it's something new on the no exposure certification for stormwater. So that looks like it's something
No, you could just cut it out.
was not involved in the last modification of the consent order.
Is that,
Or the permit, I mean.
is that no exposure or certification something that we might need to have GHD fill out for us because they're the engineer of record?
I don't know if I think GHD is aware of it, but I could ask them.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you have any questions on that form that need to be addressed with GHD, by all means, let's get them, get their help. They're the
Okay.
engineers of record. The request was that all these forms be submitted by September 27th, which is the end of Friday next week. So there's a short time frame on that. Wanted to update the board on that. The other thing that's DEC related is that the watershed implementation plan, Roman numeral 3, under the Chesapeake Bay total maximum of daily load, has been revised by the DEC in accordance with comments from the EPA, and they've resubmitted to the EPA, and so now it's in the review process with the EPA. It's online on their website. As far as I know, it doesn't really change much in the way of wastewater. It does address a lot of concentrated animal feeding operations, agriculture, etc. That's all part of the watershed too. So I just want to mention that. I'm going over tomorrow by invitation of our DME, and George is going also to present at the JC work session on flows and operation and maintenance budget. They asked to have a discussion on that at their work session. It's at 6 o'clock. If anybody's interested, George, you get this automatically anyhow because you're going to be there.
Yes.
I'll email you the slide packet. I've got the first half of it all done. The second half is under construction.
What's the date? That meeting?
Tomorrow, the 17th.
6.
You're not invited.
You can come, it's a public
I'm
meeting.
just kidding. It's not the meeting, it's a work session.
It's a work session. I mean, it might put us all to sleep even though we're presenting. It is what it is. But it's important that, you know, they want to understand certain things and how it impacts their finances, one of which, you know, I have a slide on the effect of water conserving toilets. And, you know, our flow, one of the things that when you look at our flow, you know, last year between 17 and 18, the billable flow went down 4%. There's been a trend of downward movement since 2012, not necessarily always minus 4%, but there's been some years it was higher than minus 4% or lower than minus 4%, I should say. And you know, water conserving plumbing is probably a significant contributor to some of that decrease in the hydraulic flow. And I give an illustration of, you know, at the 4% decline, it takes a 4.18% increase to keep the same revenue, which is important if you're trying to pay bills, you know, that don't relate to flow like debt service. So, you know, it would be an important discussion to put the concepts out there, and then they, as the legislative bodies, will make their decisions as they need to. So that takes care of flow management.
Into finance.
No, I did finance.
It was on here, so I'll scratch that off. I thought it
Yeah.
No, that was just a heading, Finance Committee report.
did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you're out, we already covered that, so we can check that off, and the flow management, we check that off. Now we're back on the agenda, wherever you want to go.
Well, I'm gonna go back to, does anybody need privilege of the floor? Okay. so now we'll go to topics of discussion. Menthol bid award.
Methanol. Methanol.
We did receive 4 bids from 4 different vendors. And the low bid is SPS, which is out of Brewerton, New York. They were at $1.24 for a 2-month supply, which we estimate to be around $62,000. I would encourage the board to approve that and accept it. It's a favorable price compared to some we had been seeing.
So now from a variable monthly price that this company's given us a 2-month price?
2 months out, yeah. We had everybody, all 4 bid the first month at a fixed price. We had 3 of them that gave us a 2-month supply. 1 of them went out 3 months and 6 months, but it was much, much more money. And one of them tried to convince us that the way to go was on a Argus index, but that wouldn't be a fixed price, so we told them at this point we couldn't do that.
And you can't compare that kind of a bid to the other bidders. It wasn't full respect.
And I did speak to the person who had submitted the bid, which was dated the 9th of September. No, the bid was dated the 6th of September, and they are willing to go to the 6th of November, so it gives us a little bit.
Okay. Now, did you ever check to find out what type of a hookup, whether we're going to be compatible in that?
Jacobs provided the information to 2 vendors, but not us. This was one of the 2 vendors they provided the information to, so,
okay.
so they're confident they can supply. And they're also the closest vendor, which is good news.
Well,
That's not true. Emirates
That was
actually did
to November, what?
that. November 6th.
you don't have to write that down, you'll be gone.
Never know, George, you never know.
Oh,
But his notes will be archived.
Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we accept the bid of SPS at for the supply of methanol for a 2-month supply period through November 6, 2019 at the rate of $1.24 per gallon. And
For a 2-month period.
I already said
Did you?
through November 6.
Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Yeah, that's okay. And authorize and direct the chairman pro tem to execute the contract forms in the forms approved by board council.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Great, seconds, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried, 4-1-1.
So you're gonna have to walk the bid again real soon?
That depends. The prices, some of the expected ones we got in actually were going less in the future. So that gives us the option to wait towards the end of October to see, will they extend this at $1.24 or less? I believe we can renew it then.
Do the bid specs include a renewal?
Yeah, because I used our standard commodity form.
It's two light supply periods, right? It's only 2-month periods, you can't.
So Charlie, when we do get it, how many gallons is it gonna be, 52,000? I'm hearing so many different.
There's 10,800 working capacity in each tank. So technically we could get 3 truckloads at 7,000 gallons each.
Okay. And before it was sort of scheduled that Jacobs was gonna be paying for the first fill up, but now the way it's going, we're gonna
I
because
haven't
of the
heard any
price.
more.
Okay.
And we still have not heard that the tanks, by the way, are approved by the fire marshal and certified, so I'd like to have that too before we actually commit it.
I thought that happened
You have
last
to.
week, but I could be wrong.
One other thing that I did have, and I think I forwarded these on, Shoemaker and GHD had signed in the consent order for the WQIP. This is the work where they decided the depth had to be readjusted. It's an additional $23,208.
We had a discussion on it. And that stuff, so.
Didn't we make a motion on that last week?
That's what I'm trying to think. We had a discussion on it. Did we make a motion, or did we want to turn around and read exactly what it was?
I don't remember myself.
I don't either. I had so many, Ed?
The WQIP, the
Yeah, right.
amendment to the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, you voted that.
Right, we voted on it.
I already did the contract.
So all you need is my signature.
Your signature. All right, that's all I have.
What happened to the lab technician?
Yeah.
No, that's under you.
I defer to operations people for this.
Okay. All right, well, I'll answer that. That, right now, speaking with Elliot, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, the contractor will be here, correct? And hopefully within an hour or so, we should be on with the fire alarm system. I've got Lincoln Ellis on standby to turn around, come do the inspection, and give us a moving in letter. Okay? I don't know, Ellie, you think it's gonna take more than an hour or so?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't deal with it.
Because I waited for your phone call all day today and found out that it wasn't coming till tomorrow, but at least that's good news, I think so. All right. Okay. I don't know if we want to take care of anything because according to this, we've got to go in executive session.
Well, there was the final bill also. Michelle, did you have the handouts for that?
I did not print them out. I am going, so, did you, I did print, no, did I?
I mean, we talked
That
about
day
it.
that
We
you
were
were
gonna
there,
have
yeah.
a one sheet, summary.
Yeah, the one sheet summary. If you want me to just make copies of that right now? Okay.
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 It's the final billing. I'll get that.
Right. Yeah, I can make the motion on it, but I think everybody probably wants to have it in front of them.
We're like you, we do. We are like you.
You should have it.
Yes.
I'm not trying to.
No,
Move ahead
no,
and
no.
do the new business piece. While we're waiting for it to come back.
New business?
You got something down there that says new business.
Yeah, it could go under new business. 'Cause we haven't considered it at a prior meeting, because we didn't have it.
Is all that stuff, and like I said, I don't have my glasses, is all this stuff into executive session? The new business part too?
No,
I
no.
didn't think so. New York State standardized interconnection requirements and application transfer for 5 MW or less generators. Anybody want to speak on that?
Al, you want to speak on it? Hey, other
This is
than-
very similar to what we did for the panels, I believe it is. When you want to hook, this is for.
The solar
panels,
Yeah, the solar
Oh.
panels. When you want to hook up into the NICEAG system, you have, the state requires that there be an agreement between the plant and the utility, and it's just pretty much in standard form that the New York State requires. I looked at it. There really is no negotiation. It's just,
It is what it is.
it is, you either take it or leave it.
Yep.
So.
You're in or you're out.
Right. I dealt with that at the county when I did the methane
So-
electricity production. so.
There's nothing really, I mean, I looked through it, there's nothing abhorrent about it,
Okay.
so I'd recommend that if you want to hook this up, I think you have to, don't you?
Yeah.
So.
It'd be a shame that it was all built and that we don't hook it up. I'd make a motion that we adopt the New York State Public Service Commission standardized interconnection requirements and application for new distributed generators 5 megawatt or less connected in parallel with the NICEAG utility distribution system with respect to the generators, the 2 1 MW, 1 megawatt generators, right, in the generator building. And authorize that the requisite application process be complied with and the documents be prepared, signed, and submitted.
Okay, anybody second?
Second.
Thank you.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried 4-1-1.
Who would be the authorized signator on that?
It's got to be George, I would imagine.
I think you have to check off a bunch of stuff, so hopefully we can get that information.
Yeah, I can help with that.
I mean, it says, the form says property owner, which would be the municipalities.
Property owner. Appendix H.
There's a bunch of technical stuff you're supposed to check off. I'm not sure who would know. We'll just put a black X through that. It's okay.
Yeah, it's good enough for the DEC.
Now,
We
have to say yes, go back to that.
All right, so what you have that Michelle has given us, on the front page, it's the summary of the bill. It says summary in the lower right corner. And this shows all the detail for each of the municipalities by flow side, the flows, the percent of total that they are, the debt service rate that applies to them, the Conklin surcharge of 20 cents per 100 cubic foot, the pumping charges for the respective flow sides, the plant operation cost, the local systems cost by flow side for 2018, and the total rate that results from adding those together, and then the total annual billing totaling $16,174,098.50. And then on the back, you have the summary that talks about, again, the amount of the bill, final bill is on the second column after the flows. And you have credit for costs paid for the city and the village for the debt service and the local systems cost. And then the next column is the 2018 paid on account and the quarterly estimated billings by all the various municipalities. In the case of Johnson City, because of the way the formula works under the intermunicipal agreement, they get a credit that's an offset against the debt service and local systems costs they've already paid. And then the next column, which is the second column from the right, is the balance or credit due. And as you know from the full document that was emailed to you, there's individual invoices and credit memos reflecting those amounts. And then you have the net billing, which is the sum of the credits. So if nobody has any questions, I'd make a motion that we ratify the 2018 final billing computation version 1.7F for final, as computed by the fiscal officer's office, and authorize and direct that the final billing invoices and credit memos be sent out via the fiscal officer's office to the various municipal users, subject to their election to either receive a credit on future bills or an immediate refund check at their discretion. That's my motion. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried 4-1-1. executive session, but I want to turn around and go to old business, new business, and get that in first, okay? Because when we come out, it'll be just the closing of the meeting. Anybody have anything on old business? How about new business?
The stipend things in executive session.
Yes, that's,
So, yeah, that's,
that's said, okay?
that's pretty good.
All right.
Just checking, sorry.
No, it stated it right up here.
Yeah, I
so-
know.
All
It's not
right,
really clear.
so, I need a motion to go in executive session.
Motion to go in executive session to discuss personnel matters and administrative litigation.
Okay.
Second.
Ron second, discussion, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried 4.